Life beyond. Isn't this a video where scientists made ideas of how aliens look like? Or so? I think I heard of this, and it's scientists and how they think aliens look like in a realistic way. Looks like a video game trailer. This is amazing, man. This is really well made. There was a facehugger plant. Okay, this video's not serious, is it? Imagine a museum containing every type of life form in the universe. What if that exists already? Thank you, down dog, man. Strange things that such a machine holds. The problem I have with videos like this is that this is all pure speculation. I can take a white piece of paper and draw some weird alien thing. I don't know, that's... Yeah, good job you animated it, but... I like when they really think about, like, really scientifically, how will it look like, well, how does it make sense in certain gravity and stuff like that. Thank you, Clincher. Let them explain it. This literally feels like a video game.
Hi, how you doing? Tommy Love.
What if our planet is already a museum for aliens? In the What Not to Do exhibit.
Thank you for all the content, Mr. K, mostly a YouTube
Thank you, known for my name, man. Thank you, bro. Imagine we already are a museum. Dude, that literally... Same chance of God existing. Maybe that's... Jeez. Life beyond. So far, this feels like a video game. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna fall asleep here. If you just tuned in. I mean, at least I have to take care of a kid lately. Which is why I just got in trouble for talking about hentai. He doesn't speak English, man. He doesn't know what that is. But maybe I should be more careful.
To have any hope of finding alien life, we have to know what to look for.
That's the thing, right? This is how the human race works. Imagine NASA says it. Gentlemen, it happened and happened. We found life in the universe outside of Earth. Oh my god, wow, really? And they're like, yes, it's this little bacteria. Look at it, it's really small, you can't see it. I guarantee you 90% of the human race will be like, oh, that's boring, oh, that's boring. They literally want the Hollywood kind of fucking alien, the motherfucking beep boop boop, I come in peace, blah, 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 blah. If they will find a bacteria or something, so many people won't give a fuck, man. That's the human race, man.
But where do we begin?
I can't fuck it, I don't care about it.
How do we narrow down a seemingly infinite set of possibilities? There's one thing we know for sure.
This looks like some Final
Nature
Fantasy
will have
stuff.
to play by her own rules. No matter how strange alien life might be, it's going to be limited by the same
invades New York, no one
physical
will
and
care.
chemical laws that we are.
So well animated.
On top of this, each alien environment will further limit what kinds of life forms can evolve there.
Once again, I'm an idiot. I don't know shit. I always heard there's two scientists are certain there's two ways of a planet that containing life, which is one carbon-based, us, where they breathe O2 and shit, and methane-based, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. I always read that. There's two ways of creating life at the moment, what they say. Silicon and carbon. Methane. How you say that? Methane. No, not silicon. No. Something with...
Despite these natural boundaries, the possibilities are staggering to imagine.
So far, I don't like the video because this is always human, fantastic, romantic speculation. This is Hollywood stuff, anime, TV show stuff. And I don't think that the real world, real nature out there gives a fuck about humans. Look at Hollywood and stuff. Let them explain. I will. I'm just saying.
Complex evolution. To guide our thinking, this museum of alien life will be divided
into a communist museum. Did Stalin make that?
Life as we know it, home to beings with biochemistries like ours, and life as we don't know it, home to beings that challenge our concept of life itself.
Wait, isn't it completely... And I think about this for 20 years now. You sitting here watching the stream, take a second and think that out there is something. Probably out there. If you just go long enough, you're gonna find something that will just make your brain melt. And that is A, really scary, but B, so exciting and beautiful, I feel like. I think that's such a beautiful
Before we venture too far into the unknown, we have to ask ourselves,
what's going on out there, man.
What if alien life is more like us than we think?
Some Stellaris stuff, dude. Tommy's on read right now. Don't you get what I mean,
If there's
man?
one feature that unites us with the other
Isn't it beautiful to know that there is legit 100% things out there in the world that you cannot understand, will never understand, and if you will know about them, it will destroy your brain, man. I think that's beautiful, man.
It's carbon.
Mods, can you time out everyone for one day that says boring? Don't watch them. Fuck you, I don't give a shit, man.
Carbon is ubiquitous. It's one of the most common elements in the universe, and it's very good at forming large, stable molecules.
This is what we are made of, right?
Carbon has the rare ability to form four-way bonds with other elements and to bind.
You know why you say boring non-subs? Because this is a little bit educational, and your little pea brain on summer vacation right now can't even do 4x4, and you just want to see big titty Twitch streamers and Tommy play how we form Bannerlord. Sorry for trying to make you use your brain for once this
to
summer.
itself in long, stable chains.
4 chains, man, isn't that crazy?
Enabling the formation of huge, complex molecules.
You are made out of that shit, boy. Not the nonsense, they only have 3 connections.
Makes carbon the centerpiece in the molecular machinery of life.
Thank you, Finch.
And the
Thank
same
you,
carbon compounds that we use have been found far from Earth, clinging to meteorites.
What?
Floating in far-off clouds of cosmic dust.
Thank you, Cash. You're not
The building blocks of life, drifting like snow through the universe.
There's this legendary theory that I love so much and maybe believe in. When you ask where do humans come from, blah 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 blah. Here's something interesting. I read an article about this even months ago. One of the biggest questions of humanity is how can life come out of nothing? How is it that Earth was able to create life? You know, we all learn in school. There's the what? There's this the soup, the pre-soup, and in that soup something happened, like a thunderstrike that created the first cells and life forms. Till this day, you can Google this. I read an article about this. Scientists cannot replicate the process of how life is created out of nothing. It's like a theory. There's a name for it. Maybe someone knows the theory or some shit. And there's this theory that an asteroid crashed on Earth with certain cells on it. Like it crashed into the soup. It could have just been a massive coincidence. Abiogenesis. Abiogenesis, that's the literal name. Organic life spontaneously creating itself. Thank you, Polish guy. Thank you, Alexa. And there's this theory, right, that maybe a meteor once hit Earth many years ago and brought the first cells here. Because something or someone out there knows, in order to create life on a planet, you need to send something out. And we just talked about this before. Distances in space are too big. Nobody can travel, it's too much. So what if someone sent an asteroid out with these cells? It was there for millions of years. It fucking lands like in Spore. And that's how we're made, man. I'm always a big fan I know you hate, again, I'm an idiot, I don't know anything. I'm a big fan of the theory of too long spaces. What if no one in the universe will ever reach a point to overcome light speed? Meaning the distances in space are just too big. What if that's the case? It would make sense. Why did aliens never talk to us? Why are aliens not in contact with us? Because it's too much range. It's too fucking much. So what if they overcame it by sending an asteroid here? That's why we're here today. The monkey asteroid.
And if alien life has selected other carbon compounds for their biochemistry, they will have plenty to choose
These animations must have taken forever. The forbidden caviar.
Scientists recently identified over 1 million possible alternatives to DNA.
Imagine the accuracy needed to hit a moving Earth with an asteroid. Well, if you're heavy development, you probably could do the maths on that.
If we ever discover other carbon-based life forms, we would be fundamentally related. They would be our cosmic brethren. But would they look anything like us?
You guys always laugh at me when I say this, but don't you guys think about this often? About life out there and aliens or certain hypothetical scenarios? Imagine, I always think about this. Imagine aliens would land right now. And here's a point. Because you can hypothetically think about something, but then you can apply facts that you know to be given on this Earth. Meaning, thank you, turmeric tea. Imagine aliens will land right now, and they're really intelligent. They are not here for war. They're just, we are very intelligent. Nice to meet you. What will happen? A big chunk of the human race won't be able to handle it. Many would go crazy. Their faith will be shaken. Mass suicides. People will try to hurt these ones. Human society will crumble in many, many spaces. And that is, and here we go, we have a hypothetical scenario, but you have facts. You will, you know, dude, COVID-19 happens and most people already go, 5G. They won't even get this stuff. And doesn't it then make sense that aliens are not coming here? Because they, if I, a little monkey ginger, know this is going to happen, they know it too. So why come here if you know that 50% of the fucking race you're visiting is just going to go bunga bunga? Monkey, banana, yellow.
If they hail from Earth-like planets, we could share even more in common than just our bodies.
Listen, man, these aliens can come over here, but if they take my guns, I'm gonna shoot those motherfuckers out.
Biochemistry.
What would life be like on other planets if it has evolved?
This is the
Would
fuck
it be
right
like
free map?
the world today here on Earth? Or would it be completely different?
That's beautiful. All the rich people went to vacation there.
There are those who argue that from the argument of convergent evolution, if conditions on other planets are similar to here, then we would see very similar life forms.
That's so big, Belgian Butcher. Okay, that logic is sound. Wouldn't it then make sense that the government actually is suppressing the existence of aliens? Look, I know this is really quickly, if you can't keep up with this conversation, you very quickly think, what the fuck is Tommy talking here? But we just made the scenario. If aliens would land, theoretically, many humans wouldn't be able to handle it. That leads to the point, without any conspiracy theory, that wouldn't it be clever to keep order on planet Earth to hide the fact they exist? Like, every time we talk about this, people say, oh, are you high? Are you smoking weed? Did you take drugs? Ha ha ha, conspiracies. No, let's just really scientifically logical think about this, man. Thank you, Laxa, man. Thank you for all the subs and donations. I can't keep up. Thank you for the 15 gamer. You guys are too much, man. I can't keep up. Isn't that fucking genius? I mean, the Pentagon has last year confirmed footage of certain flying objects where they didn't know what it was. Literally, you can Google this. I don't want to sit here like, Roosevelt was real, aliens are real. Just theoretically, if you are the leader of a country or the world, and you know right now, isn't this such a great mind experiment? Thank you, Atsukasi. You are the president, and right now you learn aliens exist. They're in contact, but they kind of say, we can't come, you guys are too stupid. Would you tell everybody? You can't say yes now because you're just trying to meme, but if you're being honest, you know you would destroy order on your planet. Especially in a heavily Christian country like the US, you wouldn't want to shake the faith of so many people. If you're being honest and logical, you wouldn't tell. Because you know, most couldn't handle the stuff.
And plant-like organisms that look very familiar.
As if they could keep such a thing a secret. Yeah, why not? Are you a scientist that looks in the stars and talks to aliens? You can't even handle your fucking phone most of the time. But, or they can't hide aliens from me.
On Earth, certain features like eyesight, echolocation, and flight have evolved multiple times independently in different species. This process of convergent evolution could extend to alien planets like Earth, where creatures face similar...
Don't you ever think about this? Thank you, Embraxis, for 5. Thank you very much. When you become president of the US, you sit down with the former president, and he tells you all the state secrets. Don't you sometimes think, what the fuck does he tell you there? What the fuck does he tell you there? And I felt like Donald Trump was so unpredictable. Is he going to share something? Is he going to leak something? Obviously, nothing happened there. But I wonder what they tell you. Even though I will even think they don't tell the president everything. The president only comes every 4 years, maybe 8 years. He's a risk man. He's a security. Would you tell someone that works in your company for 4 years all the fucking company secrets? No, you tell that to the fucking janitor who's been there for 30 years.
Environmental pressures.
Jesus, I need to sleep, man.
It's no guarantee, but there could be certain universalities of life. The greatest hits
janitor
of
is the world
evolution
leader.
on repeat.
Have you seen
across the
janitors? They're
universe.
everywhere, man. And nobody knows anything about them. Where does the janitor live? Does he have a wife? What are his hobbies? You don't know shit about him. I know the president's hobbies, but the janitor?
Each feature would be attuned to its local environment. Dimly lit planets would produce huge eyes to suck in extra light, like nocturnal mammals.
And now we're getting scientific. The less light a planet will have, the larger will be the eyes of their living creatures. That is science. And that's already alien to us. Thank you, people.
Some people have gone so far as to say that human-type organism, humanoids, will occur on other planets.
This is all... What is that? Furrycon, man?
The existence of other human-like organisms seems unlikely, given the long, convoluted chain of events that produced us.
That's true.
But we can't rule it out. If just one in every 100 trillion Earth-like planets produced a human-like form, there could still be thousands of creatures like us.
You have to understand that. Listen, I know I sound weird today. When I was in 10th grade in English class, everybody had to make a 10-minute presentation for a grade, for one of the biggest grades in your school. My presentation was about an article about aliens out there. I did a speech about aliens. And in that article, a scientist, there's a certain mathematical equation. Now, at some point, the human race reached or is going to reach a point where we can determine how many exoplanets exist in a certain area. What is an exoplanet? An exoplanet is just at the right range away from its sun that it could create life, because it's not too hot and not too cold. Now, if you take the number of exoplanets in a galaxy, now, and you're now being very conservative, very heavily, it's called the Goldilocks zone. Thank you, man. It's called the Drake equation. It's you guys are really helping here. The Drake equation. You take the number of exoplanets in a zone, and now you're being really conservative. You're being very pessimistic. You are like, oh, there's almost none. And now you multiply the exoplanets in era up to how big a galaxy like the Milky Way is. You still come out with at least 5 million or something, man. It's so crazy. Even if you're very pessimistic, there is thousands and thousands of exoplanets that have all the right data to create life, man. That is, how can you not believe in alien life with stuff like this? And that's just one galaxy, the Milky Way, and there's millions of galaxies. Isn't that fucking... Bruh. Like, dude, there has... I go so far, when people say they believe there's no life out there, I think you're stupid, man. Like, how can you make such an arrogant statement, man? The big question you can argue about, did they reach our level? That's a whole new question. But acting like there's no life out there, that's insane. The only theory in which we are the only ones is that God or the great simulation or the great creator wants us to be alone. Dude, I need to stop this soon, man. Yeah, in reality, we're likely to find something that's lower than us.
Convergent
Big,
evolution
man.
is
Thank
also
you,
rampant
Cut.
in plant life.
Very
And
important.
C4 photosynthesis has arisen independently over 40 times. Would alien plants look like ours or something else entirely? On Earth, plants
Instantly,
appear
it reminds me
green
of Skyrim.
because they absorb the other wavelengths in the sun's light spectrum. But stars come in many colors. And alien plants would evolve different pigments to adapt to their sun's unique spectrum.
Huh? That's the interesting stuff. That's no bullshit, that's fucking legit. Good assumptions, man.
Plants feeding off hotter stars could appear redder by absorbing their energy-rich bluer light.
Obviously, I know about the Fermi paradox. To me, I think the Fermi
Around dim
paradox is
red dwarf
maybe
stars,
the most interesting thing I've ever seen in my
vegetation
entire
could
life.
appear black.
If you ever want to be mind blown, just go to bed at night, lay in bed with your phone, and Google the Fermi paradox and read about it. You're not going to be able to sleep afterwards,
Adapted
man.
to absorb all
That shit
visible
is
wavelengths
the
of
craziest
light.
shit, man. Think about it almost every day, man. The Fermi paradox? No, there's no paradox. They're all nice people. I'm talking about the Fermi paradox.
Earth itself may have once
Maybe
appeared
global
purple
warming is our great
due
filter.
to a pigment
Scary,
called
man.
retinol
Very
that was
scary.
an early precursor to chlorophyll. Some think that retinol's molecular simplicity could make it a more universal pigment. If so, we may find that purple is life's favorite color.
We don't know yet if global warming will be our great filter. You can't say that yet. So far, it looks like the greatest filter. Isn't that insane if you think about it? Maybe I'm just delusional here, but human beings, organic life has existed for millions of years on this planet. And you and me, here we go, this is so mind-blowing. You and me, dear viewer, are exactly alive as organic life forms are facing the biggest great filter of all times. If you think it's bigger than like the asteroids hitting, global warming, man. Isn't that fucking insane? If it's true, maybe I'm just arrogant here and there was bigger filters that I just didn't see, you know, like volcanic eruption, tectonic movement, asteroids, blah, blah, blah. But imagine you and me are alive right at the right moment where the biggest crisis of this organic species ever happened. If that's true, if that's the case, isn't that such a big argument for the simulation theory? How the fuck is it that you are exactly alive as global warming, one of the biggest threats ever, becomes a real thing? Why aren't you born 100 years earlier? Where you were just busy going to war. You didn't think about the great filter, man. Dude, I'm telling you.
But the
Life is simulation. My religion is, I think that life is a simulation made by an unknown entity testing a race's capability of overcoming its own issues, aka global warming. I think when you die, you will sit on a table with a woman in a suit, and the woman will judge what you did against global warming. And if you failed the simulation or didn't.
Adaptation is more than just a curiosity.
I just solved
It's
life.
chemical information that can be seen from light years away.
And I'm gonna fail, man.
Earth plants leave a signature bump in the light reflected off our planet. Finding a similar signal from another world could point the way to alien vegetation.
God is a woman? Sure. 100%. Because
Perhaps this will
No,
be
God
our
isn't stupid.
first glimpse at alien life.
fuck you,
A
Tommy,
vibrant hue cast by a distant world.
This looks all like video games, man. Well, if Netflix made the simulation, she's a woman and she's black, yeah. Why not? But the biggest influence on life won't be its host star, it will be its home planet.
What happens when you change the day length of a planet? What happens when you change the tilt of a planet? What happens when you change the shape of the orbit?
Just little small things have such a massive impact on whatever lives on a planet.
Planets with long elliptical orbits would see drastic seasons.
This makes you want to play a space game?
There could be worlds that appear dead for thousands
No Man's Sky
of
is actually a
years,
beautiful space game.
then
It really
suddenly
is.
spring to life.
You need friends for that game, though.
Most of the rocky planets discovered so far have been massive super-Earths. How would life evolve on these worlds?
I don't know if you guys have the same, but once in a while you open the news and they always find exoplanets. It's like, NASA found X2521 blah blah blah, a new exoplanet with promising data. And right, you're like, you don't give a fuck because you're used to fucking ISIS and fires. That's the news that you listen to. But they find a lot of exoplanets all the time, dude.
In the seas, gravity may not matter much at all.
A high-gravity planet isn't high gravity all over. If you're in the sea, and that's where all life starts, there's very nearly no gravity because you're much the same density as the stuff around you. It's when the animals come out on land that they feel the gravity.
Gravity doesn't matter to life forms until they go out of water.
High G-forces would necessitate large bones and muscle mass.
That's why all you fat fucks should do swimming instead of jogging, man.
Complex life on land.
I'm doing the same. No offense.
They would also demand a more robust circulatory system. And plant life could be stunted by the energy cost of carrying nutrients under stronger gravity.
Swimming is meta, man. No shit, dude.
Low-gravity planets would more easily lose their atmospheres to space and lack a magnetic
Mars.
field to protect from cosmic
That happened
rays.
to Mars, right? Goku will go training there. This looks
But
like a nice
smaller worlds
wallpaper.
could be home to secret oases. Huge cave systems that provide hideouts for life.
This is where even it gets weird for me. What if other planets are on our timeline but behind our head? It is proven, right, that this is actually a fact. This is, I think Einstein made this. The more closer you are to large objects, the more they pull on the time-space fabric, meaning the time is different, like in Interstellar. This is proven. If you are on the sun, time goes much faster than on Earth. Now, on the relativity, it's like when you're waiting in a doctor's office, 1 hour is very long. When you are with your famous body pillow, the hour is over very quickly. Time is relative. And how does that apply to the grand scheme of the universe? What if this is so mind-blowing? This is even where I can't keep up, as such a genius I am. What if there's planets out there, but they are in a very different gravity pull, and they are just so much faster than us, they're overtaking us? This is... the time is slower. Sorry, the time is slower. I had that in school. When you stand on the sun, 1 minute on the sun is how much on Earth? I had that in physics when I was a kid, but I forgot that. There's literally a formula for that. An astronaut that would be on the sun will, if he comes back, everybody would be old and shit if he stays long enough. That's fucking childhood. Your feet are younger than your head. In a way, yes. That's so, dude. Thank you, Laxa, for 200.
Possible.
Dude, life is so weird. This guy says your feet are younger than your head, which is actually true.
Habitable planets are estimated at 2.5% Earth's mass. If surface life does evolve on these worlds, it could be a sight to behold.
God, we need a new space game, let's be real. Like a real space game. Like
Plant
something
life
good.
could grow to towering heights, able to carry nutrients higher in lesser gravity.
Come on, head first though. But over time, as you're standing on your feet,
And without the need for bulky skeletons
Star
and muscle
Citizen
mass,
could be something.
animals could have body types.
not Star
that
Starfield. Star Citizen is something for your fucking wallet, man. Star Citizen. Stellaris, I don't want to fall asleep. Come on. Could a space program 2 is actually being made, right? Fuck is that, man? I've seen it in time. No Man's Sky is actually really good, but I think No Man's Sky is only good when you have friends. For me personally, you need like a group of people to play it with. Despite our eager imaginations, large complex life forms are probably a cosmic rarity.
Here on Earth, it took 3 billion years for evolution to produce complex plant and animal life. Simpler organisms are hardier, more adaptable, and more widespread.
I played No Man's Sky once on one
The
stream.
largest
It's a
collection
great
in
game.
the Museum
Great
of
game.
Alien Life
It's
would
really
likely be the Hall of Microbes.
What do you think alien mutants look like?
Yet finding even the tiniest alien microbe would be a profound discovery.
It would be massive. And I think, here we go. I just said today on stream, I don't think in our lifetime we will see humans on Mars, but I think in our lifetime we will get scientific data and evidence concluding life on other planets. Like, this is really deep stuff. These astronomers, they look at the atmosphere of planets and they make a certain test and they see what chemicals are on the atmosphere. And they will, in our lifetime, probably find an exoplanet that has the right atmosphere and probably has life on it. It just bacteria or one cell and very small. I think we're gonna see that.
And bite-sized life could leave a big footprint. Like stromatolites on Earth, layers of microbes could build up into huge rock mounds over time, leaving behind eerie structures.
Jesus, now it's getting really...
And in big
Joe
enough
Rogan, man.
numbers, some alien
I hosted a guest lecture about a dude trying to prove life on Venus from biosignatures in atmosphere. Toxic grunt
bacteria
knows
could leave a distinct biosignature
Does he know the janitor?
by exhaling gases that wouldn't coexist naturally, like oxygen and methane.
There's ways to make oxygen without life. There's ways to make methane
What is that, Bitcoin?
without life. But to have them in the atmosphere together is almost impossible unless you've got biology making those gases at the surface. And it would have an imprint on the planet's spectrum of colors.
Next generation space telescopes could find a signal like this
I just said that.
on a world not far from home.
I just said that, man.
The closest Sun-like star with an Earth-like exoplanet in the habitable zone is probably only 20 light-years away and can be seen with the naked eye.
It is very likely that the next exoplanet can be seen with the naked eye. I don't know if that doesn't blow your mind, man, but there may be an even easier target to aim for than tiny Earth-like planets. Just a little comment on Bitcoin. I was bored yesterday and I was watching a Netflix documentary called Explained. It's a show on Netflix where each episode is 20 minutes and they explain something. And yesterday I was watching a scamming, an episode on scamming. And it explains certain schemes like the pyramid scheme, the Ponzi scheme, blah, blah, blah. And there's a certain tactic of scamming, I forgot the name, where you push the value of something with a bunch of normies and idiots, then you sell on top and all the idiots lose all their money. There's a name for that. And I instantly thought of Bitcoin. I thought instantly, pump and dump, the pump and dump tactic, pump and dump. And I instantly thought, isn't Bitcoin a pump and dump tactic? I instantly thought that, man.
Most brown dwarfs are too hot to support life as we know it, but some are just cold enough. All the prime elements for life have been detected inside their atmospheres. And
Thank you,
within these
Donato. And here's a little... This makes me a bit sad, and you're gonna laugh at me. When I was young, when I was in school, I wanted to become an astronomer looking for exoplanets. I know... I was realistic about it. I know it means you sit in an office all day looking at data on a computer. But that was always my dream. And sometimes I'm still sad I never did it. But I realized that studying astronomics... Still, my entire stream stands on astronomics since day one. Let me show you. Since day one, this is my monitor stand. Astronomica. My favorite book in the world. I always wanted to be an astronomer. But I informed myself how studying astronomics would have been in Berlin is like, and it just is hardcore physics and mathematics, and I would have been destroyed in a second. I was just being honest to myself.
Provide ideal temperatures and
but I think that is the greatest job, man. Like, you're literally human looking for exoplanets, man. How fucking monumental is that?
There could be photosynthetic plankton in these skies, kept aloft by churning upwings.
Astrology is easier? Yeah, you need like a 1 minute course to learn about astrology. And then you hit yourself in the head 5 times with a hammer. Then you're an astrologist.
Predators.
That is some Warhammer shit. What the fuck? At least you're not in Berlin right now. There are over 25 billion brown dwarfs in our galaxy alone, and their size will make them easier to talk. 20. This is not. You cannot grasp this. 25 billion dwarfs in our galaxy, and you have to always, once again, in my opinion, the biggest picture of the human race, Deep Field by Hubble, the Hubble Deep Field. In my opinion, the biggest picture of all times. What do we see here? This is when the Hubble telescope made this picture, and this is a real life picture. This isn't made, this is real. And what we see on this picture, once again, in my opinion, the biggest picture of all times. This is not stars. This is not planets. This is fucking galaxies, man. This is just a little mini... You can Google all of this. Just Google Hubble Deep Field. This is just a little mini part of a picture Hubble made, and this is all galaxies. Galaxies, man. Like Star Wars is in one galaxy, not in a universe. The human brain can't handle this. This is just too much, man. And you're telling me in all of this is not a single piece of life, man? That is just... Even Warhammer is one galaxy, yeah. That shit is just too much. Too much. I think Lisa's telling me to stop. Okay, Lisa. Okay, guys, I kind of have to stop the stream in a second.
What if nature has other ideas?
How does this stuff not touch you? I don't get it, man. Exhibit 2. It's almost certainly gone. Now it's getting trippy. Okay. It's weird how people say camera's better today. That's really weird, man.
Or too hot for liquid water and the biochemistry that supports life as we know it. But in case our biases are misleading.
Holy shit, am I craving the Forbidden Donut? Am I craving a big space game right now? Tommy, play that? Nah, something that touches me. Like an MMO. Like EVE Online 2 or something.
For life outside the habitable zone. In places that seem wildly hostile.
The camera's better because of the light. Yeah, true. You're actually probably right, yeah.
Exotic environments will demand exotic biochemistries. And while no element can match carbon's versatility, one contender is a frontrunner.
Methane. Silicon, you guys are right. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I'm just too dumb for this. Isn't silicon something fake humans made?
At first glance, silicon seems similar to carbon.
Like for me, silicon is when my dad comes in ich muss mal die Fliesen silikonieren. And he's going to the bathtub and he puts silicon everywhere so the water doesn't get into the walls.
Forms the same
That's
four-way
silicon for
bonds
me.
and is also abundant in the universe.
Huh? Okay. Gotta stop, boys. Gotta stop. I'm gonna watch this tomorrow, guys.